when we did lose it. So you're taking a chance. Although I trust Testy anyway as far as in coverages. Yeah, and then it ends up we end up getting the puck out of the end zone and Luke ends up scoring. But that's not how it was drawn up. We were hoping to win the face-off and try to get control and then get Luke on.
Over here, do you feel like we're beyond the point of the so-called rookie wall with Dubois? I mean, it feels like he's not really letting down at all.
I didn't hear
the rookie wall they always talk about. That
we're by that.
Yeah, we're by that.
Yeah, he's accepted everything we've thrown at him. He doesn't get bothered. Like the other night in Anaheim, he's playing against Kess all night long. Kess is doing his stuff. He handles it well. He stands in the blue. He's not intimidated by players or situations. So it's really encouraging how quickly he's come along here. And not only for right now as we're trying to push to get in, but the future of the organization.
John, your perception of Artemi, from maybe what you know now from what maybe you didn't know when you first got him, his progression in your mind?
Yeah, it is. I wasn't sure what he would. I know how much skill he possesses. He's a hell of an offensive player. I knew that going in before I met him. I didn't have a clue on what type of pro he was, and he is one of the top pros I've been involved with. How he handles himself off the ice. How he trains. I shared a story with our guys a couple days ago. He's talked to a couple of young guys during our breaks when you have your all-star break and you have your regular year break now that's in the league. Going to the young guys to make sure you work out, make sure you just don't take every day off. I'm not sure how he says it to him because he doesn't say a whole hell of a lot, but he gets his point across. I am totally impressed. How a guy weighing 170 pounds, how he handles himself, how many battles he wins on the ice as far as puck battles. And our guys here in Columbus and I have talked about all year long. Some of our young players can just watch him during a game and see what battles mean and see how he goes about it. So he is one impressive athlete.
Zach Werenski burst onto the scene as a rookie, and now that the league knows who he is, how have you seen him adjust, and how's his game growing, and where does he go from here?
Yeah, he is. It's been and I don't want to call it the second year stuff. I'm not sure how it's all called, the sophomore jinx. I'm not sure. We got to be really careful how we approach him because I don't think he's had an easy year, but he still has 14 goals, 30-plus points. And playing in a year that he's been banged up. It's a different situation for him this year, too, where we just felt Jack and Savvy were having problems. Zeth and Z has taken some of the load as playing against top lines, where they weren't playing against top lines last year. So there's been a little bit of adjustment in Z's game. And he's 3 goals in the last 4 games, I think it is. He's beginning to find his offense again. I think it's been a great year for him to understand what the process is to be a pro in this league. And I think he sees it growing back in the right direction because he had some struggles. He had some struggles, as all players are going to have, but I think he's handled himself very well. And myself especially, I got to be really careful my expectations on every given night and still just a young man in this game because of what he did last year. I see, I don't think there's a limit as far as what he can do. We like to call him a rover out here. I think he enjoys the position. I think he's learning reads of a rover, of when to go, when not to go. We kind of leave it up to him. The biggest part of his game that I think will get better and needs to get better is some coverages as far as away from the puck and understanding the battle part of it too. He does so many things skillfully. There are certain situations in games he's going to have to battle too in one-on-one battles, but that's going to come as he keeps on growing. So he's going to lead this team. As we move to the future with this club, he's going to be one of those true leaders from that back end that's going to hopefully take us to where we want to be.
John, I think it's been 6 games with Letestu now. He's not the biggest guy, fastest guy, not the most skilled guy. I think every coach he's had just trusts him. Have
Yeah.
you figured that out in the brief time already? That
Yeah.
any situation, this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah, we talked about it when we first got him. He's a utility guy. I used him on wing for a little bit. We decided to move Doobie to the wing now here the past couple of games. He takes face-offs. I use him for a penalty killer. I used him the other night trying to win a face-off 3-on-3. There's a lot of different ways you can use him. The thing that's so impressive about him is how he handled himself on the bench. He's very noticeable there as far as just the experience that he can bring to a bunch of young guys on our team.
I heard that said about Cole as well.
Yeah.
Did you pick up 2 talkers?
Yeah, Cole is a talker. Yeah. Yeah, not so much Cole talks. Testy talks at certain times, but I think in Cole's position, in that back end position, communication, they're directing everything. That's the hardest position to play. So they have to direct everything. Forwards coming back, coverages, all sorts of things to his partner. Testy talks in certain situations. I don't hear him on the ice, just on the bench to settle things down. Or I see him talking to a couple players on certain face-off plays. So it's not as boisterous, I guess. More one-on-one, yeah. Where Kohler, defenseman, it's such a tough position. They're the directors. They have to have more communication, and it's something we have really tried to grow with our team that hasn't been really great as far as communication in situations. Kohler has helped out there, and I think other guys see that.
John, Zach said something after the game about paying more attention to the teams in front of you than behind you. Sounds like a subtle thing, but how significant is that for a coach to have them now looking over their shoulder?
Yeah. How old is he now? What's he, 20? Yeah. He gets it, and to the question there, since I've known him in the short couple of years here, there's not a lot of maintenance to him. I think he understands and is fast-tracked as far as what it is to be a pro in this league. There are a number of things he still has to learn just through experience, but the mental part of it, he understands that. And I think it's been a great, although it's kind of hampered him, he has tried to figure out playing in the National Hockey League season where he doesn't feel good all the time. I think that's very important for a young guy that you may not feel right all the time, but you have to play. If you're hurt, you don't play. But if you're sore and you're banged up, you have to figure out a way to play. I think in his second year pro, that's been a lesson that he has gone through very quickly here, and I think is going to really help him as he moves to the future.
Team mentality, looking
Yeah.
guys you want to go get.
Yeah. Yeah, you usually hear that from a guy that's a 28, 29-year-old guy. That's a positive direction. That's a mindset that he possesses, and he doesn't say a whole hell of a lot, but he understands those little things to help push a team in a situation where we're trying to push our team in the right direction.
Comparisons can be tricky, but I've heard you describe Panarin as you have so many times. You coached against Pavel Datsyuk a lot, and I've heard that comparison as well. You see similar, not the biggest guy, but always hard on the puck, always wins the puck. Is there something there?
Well, Datsyuk was not only hard on the puck. He had a little bit of. He just knew how to take pucks away from people. Sometimes not. Yeah, and sometimes not even. It's not even a battle. He was. He just had some savvy to it. He had the experience of knowing how to. He's an offensive guy, so he wants the puck. So I'm sure. Again, I've never coached him. I'm sure, well, if I want the puck, I got to get it too. I can't always wait for someone else. And he is certainly, in the years I've seen him play, yeah, he's pretty good at it.
You talked yesterday about some guys looking at the end of the tunnel, whatever. Is this fun for you right now this time of year, watching the scoreboard and you guys are playing well at the right time? Is this fun to be a part of?
Well, to me, and like we were talking about our locker room and stuff like that, I think we're just trying to frame. We're trying to frame how you go about your business this time of year, and it goes to a mindset. I remember when we were in last year, we had 11 games to play, and we already qualified for the playoffs. I don't think I did a good job coaching the team. I didn't know what to do. I don't think our players totally understood that situation. This is more like a National Hockey League season, and you grind to get in. There's so much parity in the league that you grind to get in, and I do think it's going to help our players if we're successful. I think the whole process, successful or not, is going to be really good for our players because you have to earn it. You find out. It's not me finding out what you are, it's you finding out about yourself in these situations and trying to find your way. So, and not only for right now this year, but we're still a really young team, but also for the future. So that's why I say it's just a great opportunity for our team to be in this situation. We're not out. We're in a good spot here, but we are certainly not in. Until we're end of April and they count the points up. So we're right in the middle of this here. I think it's a great opportunity for our team. Yeah. Last year we were fortunate to be, we had it was an easier year last year because a lot of things went right for us. I think Tom talked about yesterday. I don't think things have totally gone wrong this year. Guys haven't had the years they had last year, and that happens. I just think it's more of a National Hockey League season. You're not always going to be getting in with 11 games left. You're not always going to have a 16-game winning streak. You're not always going to have a goalie that just plays his ass off in games that you don't even deserve to win during that streak. So this is where we belong, as far as this is where you find out about yourself, and that's what I said yesterday. I'm anxious to see how guys react.
Just to be clear, when you were talking about the guys in the room, that part of them may just want this thing to be over with. Are you talking in the general sense that every team in this situation probably has a couple guys like that, or specifically guys in that room?
No, and I want to be careful with that. It's not. I'm not accusing people of quitting or anything like that. There are times in a year, and as a person, it's hard. And you say, "Man, I just can't get this figured out." And I'm going back to framing. Then frame it the other way. Use it as an opportunity to find out about yourself. I'm not calling our guys that they've given in, but they're human, and when it's hard, sometimes guys start just teetering a little bit, going the other way. And so let's frame it another way. Let's try to find out who you are. Go the other way and see if you can get it accomplished. So that's kind of what I'm saying about if it makes sense.
Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.